What your career path looks like depends largely on the companies you work at. Startups and big tech companies tend to follow very different hierarchies, and each company has its own naming system when it comes to career levels, so it can be pretty confusing, especially if you're a student or fresh college graduate. So here are all the most common career paths for engineers. Everyone starts off as an engineering intern in university, unless you are this kid who's going to be the next Elon Musk. After you graduate and step foot in industry, you become a junior engineer or engineer 1. After acquiring 1 or 2 years of work experience, you are promoted to engineer 2. Then after a few more years, when you are more seasoned, you become a senior engineer. From this point on, you have several options. The first option is continuing and staying in the technical track. Many people that I know choose to stay as a senior engineer for at least 3 to 7 years because they enjoy the technical aspect of engineering and creating innovative products, but don't want the added responsibility of more senior engineers and managers. For example, a senior mechanical engineer might move between different projects and work on the camera system of a phone 1 year and then work on the phone chassis the following year. This way you become a more well-rounded engineer. You work primarily within the engineering team and don't have to worry about managing people or the growth strategy of the company. You can then become a staff or principal engineer. In this role, your main responsibility will be to lead, oversee, and coordinate the technical work of multiple projects. You'll also be expected to work across several teams instead of a single team to influence people and to work more closely with management to develop the company's product pipeline and strategy. Aside from the technical track, you can choose the management track as a senior engineer. Many people decide to go down this road because once you're a staff or principal engineer, it's harder to climb the corporate ladder, which means it's harder to get raises and promotions. Depending on the company, a senior engineer can be promoted to a tech lead or lead engineer. Usually software engineering teams adopt the name tech lead, while mechanical and electrical teams call it lead engineer. In this role, you still have to do all of the technical stuff that senior engineers do, but you also have the added responsibilities of leading more projects, checking in on team members to ensure they're performing at their best, and participating in the hiring process. However, you usually don't have direct reports, so you don't have to manage people as much, but you do get a small taste of what it's like to be a manager. From here, you are promoted to an engineering manager. A lot of companies do not have tech leads or lead engineers, so in this case, a senior engineer is directly promoted to an engineering manager. Engineering managers don't do any design, coding, or engineering analysis because they're just too good for all of that. No, I'm just kidding. They instead focus on managing a team of 3 to 15 engineers, making sure they're working on the right things and that everyone is on the same page. Good managers will bring the best out of each team member, vouch for them, and provide constructive feedback in terms of the expectations that need to be met for promotions. They'll also spend a lot of time hiring and working with managers of other cross-functional teams, especially project and product managers, as well as upper management. Because you're a manager, it's easier to climb the corporate ladder, and you can become a senior manager, then a director where you lead the engineering department and manage multiple teams, the vice president of engineering, and finally you make your way into the C-suite, usually as a CEO, CTO, or COO. Aside from the traditional technical and management track, another one that engineers choose is the project management or product management track. This group of engineers don't really enjoy the technical aspect of engineering and would prefer to talk to a lot of people across different departments within the organization. There are several key differences between project and product managers. Project managers, as the name implies, manage projects, determine timelines, set deadlines, allocate resources, and ensures the software, mechanical, and electrical engineering team, as well as the sourcing, manufacturing, and marketing teams, are all on the same page. You can think of them as a conductor in an orchestra. They will need to have some technical knowledge coupled with high emotional intelligence and exceptional time management skills. Typically, they manage multiple projects in parallel and are stuck in meetings all day. A product manager, on the other hand, needs to have very little technical knowledge and manages part of a product feature, or an entire product. For example, a product manager could be in charge of the dynamic island feature on an iPhone, the winglets on a Boeing 737, or the overall Google Maps application. They need to understand the product features and roadmap, the customer requirements, the competitors, the overall market landscape, and how to do some simple calculations like return on investment and net present value analysis. As a project or product manager, you are promoted to a senior manager, then director of product or project management, then vice president, and eventually the C-suite if you can make it that far. It doesn't matter if you're currently a student, junior engineer, senior engineer, or manager. Getting good grades or chasing that next promotion is a lot of work. So it's important to relax regularly to prevent burning out. Hang out with friends and family, have a good time, throw a party, and go get yourself a fancy high-end cocktail set from Cockshare, the sponsor of today's video. I'm a huge fan of cocktails and own a fair share of cocktail sets. The shaker is vacuum insulated, made of high-quality 18-8 stainless steel, and features an innovative design that prevents slippage, frozen hands, stuck lids, and leakage. If you're like me, I lose things all the time. The great thing about this set is it comes with a mixing spoon and jigger that fit right into the shaker and a multi-purpose lid so you can take it with you on the go. 11 delicious cocktail recipes are also included to help you get started. This set is the perfect birthday and wedding gift. It's compact, sleek, high quality, and easy to clean. Most importantly, it won't break the bank. Cockshare's cocktail set is hands down one of my favorites. This is a limited time offer, so if you're interested, get 50% off right now through my Amazon link below. Now that you have a clearer picture of all of the different types of tracks that an engineer can choose, let's take a look at the engineering career levels at some big name companies. What you'll notice right away is they all have their own naming schemes for each level and position. For example, Tesla uses the letter P plus a number to represent the level. My guess is P stands for position. P1 is an associate engineer, P2 is an engineer, P3 is a senior engineer, and so on. Apple, on the other hand, goes above and beyond and uses 3 letters, ICT, which stands for Individual Contributor in Tech. Unlike Tesla, who starts at 1, Apple starts at 2. ICT2 is a junior engineer, ICT3 is an engineer, and ICT4 is a senior engineer. Google uses the letter L, which stands for level, and starts at 3. They call their junior engineers software engineer 2s for God knows what reason. An engineer is L4 and a senior engineer is L5. At Amazon, L4 is a junior engineer, L5 is an engineer, and L6 is a senior engineer. The naming conventions at large companies should be roughly similar to these, but startups are more of a wild card and could be a lot different. In terms of pay, you can make $130,000 per year at Tesla as a junior engineer, $156,000 at Apple, $183,000 at Google, and $170,000 at Amazon. Now, these numbers are specifically for software engineers and will be less for mechanical and electrical engineering roles. Also, keep in mind that the salary of engineers at these big tech companies are amongst the top 1% and are many standard deviations above the mean, so you shouldn't feel bad at all if you make less than 6 figures straight out of university, because that's the norm. Now that you know a little bit more about the 6 engineering career levels, let's dive deeper into each one. Since I'm a mechanical engineer, I'll explain each level from a mechanical engineering perspective. An engineering intern is a college student who typically has 0 years of work experience, but is someone who has done several projects in school. Your impact within the company is usually pretty low, and you will be tasked to create technical drawings, design some simple parts using CAD software such as SolidWorks or Creo, use different tools such as a drill press, 3D printer, and Topsaw, and design and assemble test fixtures. The tasks assigned to you are very straightforward, and the requirements are crystal clear. You'll quickly find out that some of the things or many of the things you learn in school are not as useful in industry, and you'll gain a lot of new knowledge related to design for manufacturability and assembly, project management, engineering analysis, and financials. Engineering interns will be expected to have a basic understanding of engineering theory. You'll generally report to a senior engineer, lead engineer, or engineering manager who will check in on you and provide direction every step of the way. A junior engineer is a fresh college grad who has 0 to 2 years of work experience and usually has low to medium impact on the company. Your responsibilities will be to support engineering projects by designing, testing, and/or analyzing parts and sub-assemblies of a product, navigate the ins and outs of your company's drawing approval and product lifecycle management process, and under the supervision of more senior engineers, work with cross-functional teams and suppliers to launch a product. For most tasks, you'll have a clear idea of what's needed, but occasionally you'll come across challenges that require you to put on your thinking cap and leverage your technical skills to solve them. An engineer will have 2 to 4 years of work experience with low to medium impact on the company. Your responsibilities will be similar to a junior engineer. However, you may start to lead and take ownership of a project throughout the entire product development process while supporting other projects. This means you will need to understand all of the deliverables, deadlines, and what you need to do to get from one milestone to the next. If a project is delayed, you'll likely be taking some of the blame. You'll be expected to participate and provide feedback in design reviews, which are meetings intended to critique and improve the overall product design before it is mass produced and sold. Compared to a junior engineer, you won't be told what to do as much, but you'll need to be self-motivated, have a strong sense of direction, and be able to think on your feet. You'll need to have a solid understanding of the product you're working on and leverage your technical knowledge in the design, analysis, and optimization of it. It's very likely you'll become an expert in some aspect of the product. Take a smartphone, for example. You could start to develop a deep expertise in the camera module design or a specific manufacturing process such as CNC machining or anodizing. When you are promoted to a senior engineer, you will likely have 4 to 10 years of work experience under your belt and have medium to high impact on the company. Instead of leading a single project and owning several features or parts of a product, you'll have to lead multiple projects and have a systems level approach in designing products. This includes understanding all of the requirements of other engineering teams. For instance, if you are deciding what screw size to use or where to place a screw for, say, a sensor module, a junior engineer might say, hey, let's place it wherever there's space in the CAD model. On the other hand, a senior engineer will call a meeting to consult with electrical engineers to see if their printed circuit board can accommodate a screw hole and what screw type and hole size is possible. He or she might also touch base with optical engineers to see if adding a screw boss would affect the sensor performance. A senior engineer will also consider things like manufacturability, ease of assembly, access to the screw, and using common hardware that's used in the company's other products that might save the company time and money. In this role, you will have little to no guidance and rely on your technical expertise and rich past experience to solve problems that are not well defined and to guide younger engineers. Moving up, a staff engineer has over 10 years of work experience and has high impact on projects and the company. You will not only serve as a mentor for less experienced engineers, but also be the go-to person for solving complex technical problems and making critical technical decisions with your deep technical knowledge and skills. You will lead important technical initiatives, provide guidance, and play a key role in designing and implementing complex systems and multiple products. A staff engineer usually doesn't have direct reports, but needs to exhibit leadership through technical influence and will provide major updates to key stakeholders and leadership. Finally, a principal engineer brings over 15 years of experience and will identify key industry trends and problems for the company to solve with future product offerings. They are considered top technical experts within the organization and have a broad impact on multiple projects. You won't be CADing, testing, or doing much engineering work, but instead establishing a technical vision and strategy for the company, as well as shaping the technology direction of the organization. You will engage in research and innovation, exploring new technologies and approaches that can enhance the organization's product pipeline. You'll work across teams and departments, collaborating with other senior leaders to ensure technical alignment and consistency across the organization. Whether you decide to choose the management or technical track, try to always do what what makes you happy instead of what offers the highest pay. It's very easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself with others or beating yourself up when you find out that your coworkers make more than you or just got a promotion or raise. With higher pay comes more responsibility and stress in most cases. Just do your best, continue learning new things, and be better than you were yesterday. I'll end by sharing one of my favorite quotes by Steve Jobs that is applicable to everyone's career.
Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking and don't settle.
Alright guys, that's all I got for you today. As always, thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.